Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today to continue where we left off with Escape from Kyln's return event here. Now we are actually going to be going through the next three floors. This is respectively utilizing now the Cabal team. You do have a choice of Underworld, but to be honest, this is going to be the go-to. You want to build up Cabal as high as possible anyways, and honestly speaking, you'll likely be using these characters in some sort of variant of Dark Dimension in the future, or even in Cosmic Crucible, as they are one of the best teams right now. So you're gonna be getting value, but yeah, I brought them already into Dark Dimension 7, hence why they're gear tier 19. But it can be done with gear tier 18. But honestly, feel good with the investments because you can bring these guys to the max, and it's gonna prove meaningful as these characters are farmable in the game as well. So without further ado, let me showcase for you now the gameplay here for cells 44 to 46. Now, make sure you guys separate the characters so that way they're not receiving adjacent attacks. And with any time we've used Cabal, remember the biggest thing is remembering that they have synergy with each other, but they need to manage the cooldowns effectively. Otherwise, you could be putting your team in a position of distress, especially if you're not managing that carefully. So what I mean by this is we start things off in this first node here on cell 44 with Iron Patriot special. Now, you need to be very, very careful because you don't want to overuse your abilities because of the fact that leader is typically using his ultimate to generate ability energy. So you want to make sure, we clear that initial wave right there, but we're being smart with the attacks. We clear out Hela. This is going to drop this next wave here. Very straightforward. Now we can actually focus on Iron Man Zombie. And look, I'm being very, very cautious with my abilities. I'm using the basics where I can because there's a lot of assisted attacks that utilize the Cabal mechanics. And you really want to be strategic with how you use both Iron Patriot and Namor's ultimate because they are such heavy hitters, and again the cooldowns are so massive that you really need to time that with the leader's ultimate. So we haven't used any of the ultimates yet. This first node is super straightforward. You should be able to just basic or use your special, and we're managing our cooldowns extremely effectively here. In this last wave, just focus on Robbie, leaving Voodoo, so that way he's going to be a good avenue to generate more ability energy. But this is a very good way to practice using Cabal in this first node, just because you're not really using too many of the abilities, and we have both Namor and Iron Patriot's ultimate ready to go for the next node, and as well, more importantly, we have Leader's ultimate ready to refresh that energy. So that's the biggest thing with Cabal. Super fun team to use, the assist mechanics that they have within and the synergies, but remembering that their cooldowns are very, very important. Otherwise, you can be placing your team in a position where they're not going to be operating as effectively. Next cell, 45. Okay, this took a couple of RNG attempts here to reset to get the right kind of luck, but this can be done for sure. You want to start things off here against this wave. You're not going to be able to do much. Red Hulk's going to get his turn first. He's going to turn Mirror Rewind, and what you want to do from the get-go is aiming for Green Goblin Classic. So I start things off with a special on Namor, just finishing him off, and then as well, now the big issue with this node is that there's an actual enemy Apocalypse that we need to target. And then he's a good one to use the main abilities here, but seeing as how these enemies are actually not as tough, and probably likely because of the gear tier 19. If you have gear tier 18, you probably will be less damage, but you can see we were able to use the ult, we finished off Apocalypse, and now we're in a great position to combo that with Namor's ultimate there, and that's going to set you up here in this last node, last wave here to clean up. And this is where you do want to be using Leader's ultimate, because he's going to give you ability energy back to both Namor and Iron Patriot, and try to generate as much as you can in preparation for the last and final node. So looking really good, leaving characters like Dark Beast and Nemesis. I think it's going to be probably the most preferred at the very end here. As you can see, Iron Patriot, Special, and Ultimate looking very good for the last and final cell here, utilizing Cabal. But yeah, this is basically how you want to be using the attack order. And again, we don't need to be using Underworld at all. I think before, we didn't have these characters farmed up as high. We didn't have their gear tier level, so we weren't able to attempt this, but Underworld proved to be a good SAC team. Now this is the node where I think we're going to have the most issues with, because I had to reset this a couple times to get the right luck, but we're up against this Hive Mind mixture, and you do want to start things off here essentially to set up the stage, right? So we have a couple of big enemies that we need to focus on. A Void Knight, Red Goblin, they're definitely two of the pain targets. So I start things off with Iron Patriot's ultimate there on Void, so that way he's not getting his ultimate off on us. Remember, Red Goblin also has a revive, so thankfully that combo attack actually finished the two off. Now we do need to focus on Black Cat in this second wave. If you don't target her, and timing the special here, flipping her death proof, she may actually take down two out of the 3 members of your Cabal. So you can see we focused on her right away, and we flipped her death proofs with Iron Patriot special. That's very, very key to take her down, because after she's taken care of with the Red Goblin and Void Knight, this last wave here of the 4 enemies, they're not going to be doing anything to your team. They barely have any damage. You should be able to get your second Namor ultimate from the past 2 cells that we've attempted already, and now it's just a simple cleanup with Cabal. So again, it's all about cooldown management, but you can see how smooth it looks, how easy it looks, just because of the fact that we managed. Although we did lose Iron Patriot, we're in a great position now to bring this home and finish up the finally another 3 cells here, being 44 to 46. And we'll be back with more, guys. Thank you for your time as always. Hopefully this is helpful, and let me know if this is helpful for you guys too.